My name is Todd from Pueblo West, Colorado, and I've been a patient of Dr. Kurt since October of 2019. With Dr. Kurt, you go in and it's a partnership, and his whole approach is you are the person in charge here, so I'm just going to guide you to get you started. And if you can walk in with that mindset, it's phenomenal. There simply isn't a better person I've ever met that is able to walk you through that process. And at no point does he take it over. There's times where I was wanting him to tell me all the right answers, and he would just sit and smile. And it turns out I knew the answers. I just didn't want to actually find out for myself. So, but yeah, without question. But you've got to be ready to do the work yourself, because it's not put on a silver platter for you. About 5 years ago, he'd been diagnosed with a bipolar disorder that we were trying to figure out. General health issues, gastrointestinal stuff, headaches all the time, tired all the time. I had tried all the pharmaceutical stuff. Actually, all that had happened when we were living back in Indiana, and had tried the pharmaceutical stuff, and that was just brutal. Basically, after about 15 different dominoes, ended up with a lady who was a very strong fan of the alternative medicines. We started doing the vitamins and much more of the minerals and more of the healthy, proactive stuff rather than just reacting to symptoms. And that was the first time I actually started feeling better in years. And then we moved back out here to Colorado in July of last year. And just within a few months could start feeling the old stuff starting to come back and the health starting to go. So I had been at my physician, and I told her what was going on, and that I'd been doing alternative medicine before and it was working great, and would she know of anybody? And there was no hesitation. She just gave me Dr. Kurt's information, and I just kind of chuckled and said, "Why would you have that off the top of your head?" She said, "Because I was a former patient." I said, "That's all I need to hear." So if my doctor was a patient of his, that was exactly what I wanted to hear. So that's what ended up putting me in his office. So the first time he and I sat down, and he started explaining how everything affects everything else, and if you can just get part of it started, you'll start noticing it in the other areas. And that was really the first time that all of that had made sense to me. And so I said, "Well, man, you're the first person who has ever explained this in this way, in a way that's designed to put you out of work." And he kind of chuckled and said, "Well, that's kind of the point." And it was amazing how just within a few weeks, I was noticeably better than I had been going in. My head was clear. All the other health stuff has just basically disappeared. And probably the biggest surprise to me was about 2.5 months into it, just jumped on a scale, and I'd lost 27 pounds in 2 months, doing nothing other than just changing a little bit about what I ate. I didn't jump into salad land or anything like that. It was just doing some real basic things, and it was just amazing again how everything affected everything else, and it was much simpler than I ever really thought it was going to be. If you go in a little bit skeptical, that is on you, and you need to open yourself up to a very alternative approach to what you tried in the past. And I guess what I told a friend of mine said, if what you had been doing in the past worked, you wouldn't be here in the first place. You wouldn't be looking at Dr. Kurt. And so I just know my experience, and I can say that without question, it made me better.